you wonderful people. So recently I was thinking about the fact is that I find it funny that social media is kind of a big part on a lot of people's lives, but it's somewhat a big part of my life, because even though I don't view it in this insane way that, you know, I view other social platforms. YouTube in itself is a social platform, but it's like, to me, I look at it differently than any other platform. Because I don't know, because I guess mainly it's because it's the only, well, it's one of two social platforms that I got on for my own, just because I was like, oh, I want to make my own account, you know, not just doing stuff up there actively, but just the fact is of just having it, just making it was my own decision. Because with everything else when it comes to social media, like MySpace, I'm pretty sure I got on MySpace like during the time it was, you know, already unpopular. I didn't really care. The only reason why I made a MySpace page because a girl I was dating at the time was like, oh, you should have a MySpace page so that you have another platform to talk on. She's like, would you like me to make it for you? I was like, sure, whatever. Almost similar with Facebook. I had a friend, she was like, oh, make a Facebook page so we have another place to talk on. Sure, why not? And the truth be told is, I don't even use Facebook that often. I think I've brought this up before, I'm not sure, don't remember. But I don't update my Facebook that often. Every once in a while I'll put up some random crap, like every maybe 6 or 7 months, because I keep to myself a lot, because I have trouble talking to people. It's not like literally any person on my friend list isn't someone I know. Like 95% of the list is people I went to school with, but it's just like I'm reluctant to start conversations with them. And when I do, my kind of antisocial tendencies and my awkwardness kick in, and I go, no, this is a bad idea, don't talk to them, don't bother them, this is stupid. You were in a different mindset at the time, you were kind of like on top of the world, feeling good about yourself, and you wanted to talk to people. No, that time is past, just let it go. So that's why a lot of times I don't talk, because I think I've talked about that before too. I have more, like, it's easier for me to talk to people I don't know rather than it is to people I do know. It's this weird thing. I have trouble talking to people in general, but it's easier to talk to a stranger than it is to people I know. You know, you like it, that's more power to you. Like, I'm glad you enjoy it. It's just, to me, it's not a platform for me, because I have my own mindset about things. Twitter, for example, I made somewhat of my own volition. Like, basically, it was just kind of like, well, I reluctantly made it because, well, everyone had Twitter, so I was like, well, I might as well make one. But I don't even really utilize it. Literally, like, the first couple of tweets, I don't remember exactly what I tweeted. I do remember, because at that time when I first made it, it was connected to my Crunchyroll account. So literally some of the first tweets I ever had, because basically you can change your settings, but it basically would automatically tweet anytime you watch like 30 seconds of an anime. So that's what a lot of my earlier tweets were, and then I was like, oh yeah, I happened to pay attention to my feed. I was like, oh, it's doing that, isn't it? And then I disabled it. So like, and then every once in a while I'll pop in and kind of like tweet. It's like, oh, I just uploaded this video, even though I haven't done that in a very long time. I think last year was the last time I did. It's something I did frequently, because it was basically my way of being like, hey, me being very active on Twitter. You know, because like, you know, like any social media following, I don't have a big following. It's just a few people who follow me, but it's not nothing, you know, I mean, even that small number of people that follow me, I'm still grateful for that. I'm not trying to be ungrateful. I'm just saying it's not like, you know, anyone's waiting on pins and needles like, oh, what's Michael going to tweet next? Nobody gives a shit, you know. It's kind of all irrelevant, you know, at least in my case. Some people, it serves a lot more purpose for more people. I'm just not one of those people. YouTube and Crunchyroll are the only accounts where it's like, I made them because I wanted to. Granted, like, currently I have my 2 channels now, but I do have one that I have no idea whatever happened to it, because I forgot the password as well as the username for it. I don't know for sure, but I think it's Sion Blaze. I never did anything with it. I never uploaded anything. Basically, it was my fake account that I made years ago so that I could watch videos that were age restricted. That was like my main purpose for those. Then eventually I was like, well, I kind of lost that account. I was like, well, I don't remember the password, don't remember, you know, all that. So I was like, it's not worth knowing. It didn't serve any purpose, and so I made the channel that my main channel that I still use to this day. Obviously, it's not too as frequent as this one, but still, I still use it on a regular basis. So, you know, I made that one. So, in case you were ever curious, why it's named 016, it's because the 16 comes from the fact is I was 16 at the time I made it. I mean, just in case, you know, you came across it and you were ever curious about that. The Zelos part, I randomly pulled it from a manga. It's not really worth knowing. Nevertheless, that and Crunchyroll, because Crunchyroll, I was like, holy crap, this is an anime site, but it's kind of like Facebook/MySpace, but it's with anime. So that's why I was like, I liked it a lot, because out of any platform, Crunchyroll is probably like the only social media that I'm very, well, at least in the past, was very active on, because way back in the day it used to actually have like a chat room and stuff like that. To me, Crunchyroll was the right fit. It still kind of is. Great. I don't socialize on it as much as I do. Check it from time to time just because I get some messages here and there. Mainly it's like group activity messages, that like groups that I don't participate in, which I feel like I should participate more in groups, because it's just like, you know, more of that socializing, because I definitely need to build my social skills. My social skills are, I joke about them being like, you know, being terrible. I'm okay at talking to people. It's just I'm not as good as I could be. I could be, like, I need to get to a point where I'm much more comfortable so I don't get like nervous, kind of get that butterfly feeling in my stomach, anxiety when I have to talk to people. So I need to kind of work on that. Social media does help on that, in that front, because it allows me to be in a form, it allows me to a forum to kind of communicate with people. And, you know, that's kind of the reason why I like making these videos, is because it's another form of communicating. Granted, it's a lot easier on me because all I have to do is talk to a camera. It's basically, I've already talked about it, I'm weird, I talk to myself anyway, so it's just like me recording, me talking to myself. So, you know, and I don't kind of have to, it's like a one-sided conversation, which isn't a good thing. That in itself doesn't build social skills, because it's like, it's easy to talk one way, but it's hard, you know, to keep a conversation going back and forth. So, you know, I give social media that. It's not, I don't hate social media, I just think it's funny that, to me, a lot of social media for me is out of like, oh, someone else suggested it, I do this, or out of reluctance, because I'm like, okay, everyone else has this, so I should have it too. Fact of the matter is, I haven't even talked about the fact is, I almost skipped over it, Instagram. Never had an Instagram account until like 2 months ago, when I was randomly in bed. I was like, I'll make one. And the moment I made it, I was like, that was the dumbest idea I've ever had, because I'm literally not going to use it, because I've already expressed it before, I don't like taking pictures of myself. And yes, granted, Instagram is more than just taking pictures of yourself. Obviously, some people use it to, you know, take pictures of themselves because they're doing it for modeling, just to show off, you know, certain things, you know, showing off who you are, you know, in pictures and stuff like that. But never, that's not me, because I don't like it. I'm weird. And granted, I could do more with it. I could be like, oh, I don't have to take pictures of myself. It could be like, oh yeah, me going out, taking pictures of, like, you know, the world, you know, the kind of the beauty in the world, you know, things I look at that I think are beautiful, that I kind of want to share with people. Yes, but other than that, it's just, I'm not big on just taking pictures in general anyway. Not just of myself. Because I feel weird pulling out my phone, like, oh, take a picture of that. Ooh, I don't know, I feel stupid, I feel awkward. So that's something I would have to push past. But, you know, still then, it's like, there was really no point to it, because I know it's just going to sit there. I'm going to end up forgetting my username, the email I set it up under, as well as the password. I always end up doing that. And, you know, because previously to me making my account 1 or 2 months ago, I literally had only been on an Instagram once before. Like, I'd visited Instagram once before, and that was it. That was my experience with it. I have no experience with Instagram outside of that. So it's funny to me. Like I said, I don't have a problem with social media. I don't hate it. I actually like it. You know, it connects a lot of people together that who might not be, you know, connected. So I do appreciate that. It's weird for someone like me who isn't very big on talking to people to be on a social media platform. It's about being social, and I'm not very good at being social. So to me, it's freaking ironic, and I think that's funny. Maybe you won't agree, maybe you do, maybe you don't. My question to you is, are you a big fan of social media? Do you like it? You know, obviously social media has its ups and downs, but in general, do you like it? Do you dislike it? What was your first instance with social media? What was like the first thing you kind of put yourself out there for? Was it Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, YouTube? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm very curious. But that's really all I want to talk about in this video. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.